What is up? It's a beautiful day to write some code. Let's get right into it with a Next.js, Supabase, and ShadCN UI speedrun. So, in the previous video, we got a little demo up and running of Horizon UI, which is another component library, and Supabase. So, how can we do some engineering here and reuse stuff from this project and make a new project that is Supabase and ShadCN. So let's start here with the Next.js documentation. Alright, so if we want to make a Next.js app, we're just going to go ahead and do this. npx create next app latest, and then we'll put a name into it. So let's pull up our terminal here. And then let's pop that in there, and we're going to call this test ShadCN. Would we like to use TypeScript? Yes, we would. Would we like to use ESLint? Yes, we would. Tailwind? Yes. Source? Yes. App router? That's the good one. Turbo pack? Not. Nope. Alright. So now it's just going to install some of the Next.js framework into our repo that we're going to call test ShadCN. Alright, cool. So let's take a look. After it's done installing, let's go ahead and open up a new window of VS Code. So this is what a Next.js app routed application looks like out of the box. It puts our stuff in our source folder, and we're going to see this page again. This is our entry page. So let's open up a terminal in VS Code. Then let's just run npm run dev. So this is the out of the box Next.js application. And let's see what this looks like. Alright, cool. So we got a little page here. So now we want to configure ShadCN, and I got some products here in this Supabase, and I want to display these products in a ShadCN table. They got some examples up here. It looks like this. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Well, let's go ahead and install ShadCN. So if we go to installation, let's do this. Copy this npx ShadCN latest init. So let's Control-C to stop that, and we're going to run this. Alright, let's go with Zinc this time. Let's use Force too. Cool, so now our application is configured to use ShadCN. Added some things in this component.json. So let's add a page here. So we're going to go to folder. We're going to call it products. And then we're going to put a new file in this product. We'll call it page.tsx. And we're just going to put, let's copy this one. So what do we got here? We're going to put it in there. And then we're going to get rid of everything other than a simple div. And we'll put an A in there. We'll just say tests, products, page. Alright, let's see what we got now in our Next.js app routed application. If we go to /products, we should see what's on this page. So let's go here, /products. See what we got. We forgot to run it, npm run dev. Alright, boom, test products page. So, how do we put these Superbase products into our ShadCN table? Let's take a look at the table on ShadCN. Installation. Oh, let's do this npx ShadCN latest add table. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and paste that right in there. See what this does. Oh, look at that. It added a table component in our components directory. So how are we going to use this table? Well, let's take a look at this code here. So this is the code for the table. We got invoices in there. So let's just see what this looks like on our products page. So let's paste that whole thing in there. And it looks like it imports correctly. And let's go to our products page over here. So let's now reload this. Once again, we got to run npm run dev. Error. Alright, so let's see. Error. The default export is not a React component. Alright, so we're getting this error. The default export is not a React component in the products page. Why is that? Well, we say export function here. If you look at the other things, say export default function. So let's go ahead and put default right in front of that function there, and then boom, now we have this products page. Now we could mess with the spacing, the orientation, but we're trying to speed run ShadCN, Next.js, and Supabase. So how do we put our products in our Supabase in this new Next.js app? So from the previous video, we put all of our Supabase configuration, the utils, and we have some test products in this JSON file, and then we have our product service and our Supabase config. So let's just go ahead and copy this whole thing. This is a great example of why we could separate concerns and how useful it is, because now when we're making a whole new app, let's see where we put that. We put that right outside of our app in our utils. So let's do the same for this project. Test ShadCN right outside of our app. We got our components, our lib. Now let's just go ahead and paste here. Utils. Alright, so taking a look at our Supabase configuration file, we can see we have to install this. So we're going to control C this. We're going to say npm install Supabase JS. It's not finding it here. So once it's installed, that should be good. Alright. So now let's just go ahead. If we say that again, it finds it. Cool. Now if you remember, this next public Supabase URL and your API key, this is from your process.environment file. So we put that in our env.local over here. So we could just copy this env.local file, and we're going to paste it right over here in this new test ShadCN. So with our URL and our API key in this .env.local, we just moved over all of our Supabase configuration and how we interact with it. So now we got this product service here. So let's take a look at our products page. Taking a look at our previous application, we can see our products is an array of products. So let's go ahead and make that change here. So our const products is going to be an array of products, and we're also going to get this from our utils. Cool, so now we can iterate over it. And we're going to call this, instead of invoice, we're going to call it product. And then we're going to say the key is going to be the product.id. And then we want to say product.title, I believe it is. Let's take a look at Supabase. We got a title, a description, a price, and an image. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. We got title, description, and price, and then image. And then we can get rid of this footer here. And now let's take a look. Let's run npm run dev, and let's take a look at our products page. So if we refresh this page, and now we're displaying a ShadCN table fetching our products from Supabase within our Next.js app routed application. So now we've plugged in our component library to our framework and our database that we want to use, and we could start doing a lot of cool stuff here. So that's the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, feel free to check out the channel for more. Thank you and have a good day.